stops, it is not good to suspend or shut down, then today, let us maintain the same principle and say that we would rather have an administrative engagement. Why should Asase Radio be denied the opportunity to broadcast? Why? Why will Wontumi be denied opportunity? Why is Wontumi suffering? Why is Wontumi suffering? Why is Wontumi suffering? What has Wontumi done? What at all has Wontumi done? Mr. Speaker, if we say we want to perfect our democracy, then we must be seen to be walking that talk towards perfecting our democracy. This business of it happened yesterday, so we must continue this vicious cycle. Mr. Speaker, it won't help any of us. Today, I will repeat what I've been saying since 7 January 2025, that this power of 187 is not permanent. We have seen 169 before, and we saw 137. So let us all be guided and know that the power immediately you are given is like an ice block. It begins to melt. We should be guided so that when the power comes to us, we will remember to put in certain blocks that one day we will use it for equity in times of need. But if you have a member for Kesi team who now says in his submission that he is applauding the harsh measures, the punitive actions of a regulatory authority, which is contrary to constitution. If a lawyer from Kesi team and a member of this house argues that he finds no problem with an administrative authority vested with regulatory powers exceeding its mandate, let me, Mr. Speaker, as for Hansard,
Honorable Minority
it would
Leader.
always be a great.
Abuja for the city, Afenyo markings not to say, oh, so parliament that they are, or say a year Wontumi in Hunamane, Bonne na Wontumi a year, Wontumi suffering like the music can say, I will hope our national Kumamuma. Na eno, and as all pleady, saying, Gibea, near more than almost no treaty a year Wontumi no. Be a comedian or Mommy Brass and Manon because the man I question on a quack say, or more time be cramped when we show Mumunum there, the end is our do, and your own Quania shutting in the radio station down there. There are no, and I the majority MPs near the essay or me and no nothing. Won't the answers and Ayariga. Mahama Ayariga, the can see me just say, same as all countries or the go from your markets and mass but just also we was schooling or just during 2018 Lema a course no and on a Mahama Ayariga and Avabon Tiade at the Gunin Massy Pano say, then time no. Na mona na moye de moa bemu niema moye ye kwampono enye ya Ŝhut radio station down na wawa be gina ha usuni ade ene fashion ba no ena te se eye Afenyo markings our origin in so our parliamentar just ene no ka se power akwa is ice block hai se power is ice block dia ekuta onyina na de na na nti ene no monya 187 eye mpisa ade beche no mum na ede ha be di power so uni mwe nyina echi na motna ho na mwe de mosman mismanage economy ni ade nyina koso nanso na wonnim se power ice block na wo ababonten afa na wo realize ampa pa emre wo ye ni nka so afa na wo ye realize kam ni goti ni me bi koso parliament ba nene nkoma try ato.
All that we are saying today will be referred to tomorrow, Mr. Speaker. So I would want to encourage Honorable Sector Minister to rather deepen the engagement process as directed by the President. Some of these belated actions for the purpose of optics will not help the cause of democracy. Stay away from the punitive actions. Stay away from this excuse of you need to enforce a regulation, especially when in enforcing the regulation, you may be slipping out of the confines of the Constitution. We are...
Right, Honorable Speaker, like I indicated earlier in the day, we have about 30 questions scheduled to be asked of ministers. And the ministers are all here, from the Minister of Finance. On the 22nd of February 2023, there was a letter addressed to the Managing Director, Limited, Kumasi. Dear Sir, violation of conditions of authorization. We refer to the inspection conducted at the FM broadcasting premises of Wontumi Multimedia Company Limited at Kokomlemle, Accra, in the Greater Accra region on 14th of June 2022. The inspection revealed the following lapses in the setup and operations of Wontumi Multimedia Company Limited. 1. The station's transmission system was located at Accra New Town instead of Ajangote, or within a 5-kilometer radius from Ajangote, as required by Condition 3 of your authorization dated 26 October 2021. This is causing interference to stations using neighboring frequencies. 2. There was no fire certificate from the Ghana National Fire Service. No fire certificate. 3. Approving the installation of the mast. Wontumi Multimedia Company Limited is hereby directed to rectify the above anomalies within 90 days from the date of this letter, that is by 21st May 2023, and invite the National Communication Authority for a second inspection. Please be informed that the cost of the second inspection amounts to 2,000 Ghana cedis and shall be borne by the Wontumi Multimedia Company. Please take note that the issuance of a test transmission authorization for Wontumi Multimedia Company Limited to commence operating its FM broadcasting station in Accra is pending compliance with the above directives. Yours faithfully, signed, Director General Joe Anochi. That is the first one. I have a second one, signed also by the same Director General Joe Anochi to the same company, the Managing Director, Wontumi Multimedia Company Limited, also on 21st December 2022, also titled Violation of Conditions of Authorization. Same conditions, transmission challenges, no fire certificate, no permit, repeated and signed again by the same Director General, Joe Anochi. Mr. Speaker, You see, when you take a license and the license stipulates conditions, please endeavor to comply with the conditions of the license. It is as simple as that. It is a national asset and the frequency has been allocated to you subject to payment of certain license fees. Please pay your license fees. I don't think any of us is interested in waking up in the morning, tuning into a radio to hear what is happening before you even step out of your house, only to be told that the radio station has been put off with the conditions under which you have been licensed to operate. So that is all that I will say. And also to emphasize that I have looked at the laws under which the minister has issued the suspension directives. Mr. Speaker, there are two laws, basically, and regulations that govern. The National Communication Authority Act 2008. National Communication Authority Act 2008. And the Electronic Communication Act 2008. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask, in 2008, who was in power? In 2008, who was in power? Who was in power? Which political party was in power? Which political party? The NPP. The NPP was in power in 2008. And the laws that govern electronic communication and the National Communication Authority, which define the obligations of license owners, were passed by the NPP. So I am surprised that today, the leader of the minority, an MPP leader of the minority, and a lawyer for that matter, will stand in this chamber and say that it is unconstitutional and a violation of the Constitution for laws to be passed governing the management of frequencies. And yet, it was your party and your government in 2008 that enacted those legislation through this parliament. So I think that when you urge others to be consistent, you must also be consistent yourself. So if you say Sam George has to be consistent, I also want you to also be consistent. Be consistent with the position of your party on the management of frequencies. And as for His Excellency the President, I am surprised that you will say that he is being magnanimous because of public backlash. When did the suspensions take place? And when did that public backlash occur that I sitting here I haven't heard? When did that public backlash occur? The suspension occurred at what time of the day? At 10 a.m. this morning. And the clemency came at 12. Within 2 hours, who could have exercised such public backlash that His Excellency the President will be magnanimous to the extent that he is being? And lastly, Mr. Speaker, yes, we are representatives of the people, but first and foremost, if we sit in this house and laws are being violated and ministers are taking steps to enforce those laws.
Parliament is saying no. Sinibi and not just made the omuyi, but reality now no made the omokano. Na ebeka it is a tremuno then time no na ayem piamanuku na kofada bino and na ewo so agese na omuyede omudi eye Ghana so agese na Ghana for ehuna man nyina stand na nkofo we ehun se nkofo omo kyeramo ana se Ghana for ede omo kyeramo na so no mede omo ye ni omo pe ne Afenyo zanga realize say power is like an ice block. Na eda wanse mnyana ede nane as time goes on na dani so wanse na ede free wansa. So unim that statement no unim sa adwini we and at the time na mo ebuga na basa na Ghana for mo twa mo haircut ni ade e ma Ghana for ihuna man nyina no those statement amba wa dream ama ene wanga zo ho se isanse ne ma mudi tia yendi zamanu ko den tana mo shati I radio station down here that no and it's already good I had them shutting it down as then time no na sama honto munya ye djuma ho just say almost shuts our radio station in down actually and me them sadom lines say na sa momo omunye boni bia or because of say almost some cassette aban no now we know the ye famra kwan so if we say those lines is no there say I spy ibinum de ewu ibinum de omunya renew ye ibinum bo so ma msare omusade I don't see and I 62 TV station and FM stations no yeah they are then shutting it down a yes as radio and the Wontumi radio so yeah there and Wontumi TV nya then shutting it down no and I'm Afenyo markings 80 team of parliament at the na Wontumi Wontumi money bia or time on the time and more years you be so Monkwa na si Wontumi station on kwana then you abandon and answer them. There are so many stations are just a Wontumi then can exist too near then you ban your more it be a Victory FM be a live word broadcasting it be a year Obra FM Sweet FM Happy FM almost dozen and then you ban your more in say that list no as I'm George Elbetuja I mean was our list no nanso enim di ntia Afenyo market ani abre Wontumi den so a just obli senke be ya omohuni mobo because Wontumi nya boni bi nim se ne bank account ya heading CD ani ade just say no oba bontia no osu tamale ni ko yoku no enim ni si ya na ose boni be no Wontumi no wa ya omotata ni sei if say eye MP for munti eno yede omotata because onye MP onye minister onye she ni di anso ye chairman o asante region nanso ene modo tan kese ba no so just say na ekwa ya de hare ho sem nanso na gana for edi huru ni pa because den time na we do sika no enye oni obi ani die you know and as say no the majority leader mahama Ayariga ayene ababonti egu Afenyo markets ani mas ene pa just say na enya semketwa enumum tamana mahama Ayariga school Afenyo markets ede ni ngwa second say ma Afenyo markets no na the majority for ni bi NDC MPs for ni bi catch Afenyo markets onja de no na wontie se bi nya sema mahama Ayariga as the majority leader na ede kano na eno and see ewo parliamentar that information every matches na enya asem ketwa insemebre the see or parliamentar bit my den ache adwin our comment such a bit so ahia mo adam for saying bi ahwe higher for anje chakam na